Hi, I'm Traveling Troy. I make videos about van life and related topics. That back there is my 1998 Astro van that I converted into a camper van. I've been living in it for 6 years now. Let me show you what I've done to it recently. On a return trip back to my home state of Texas, I stopped in at my dad's house in Austin, near Austin, Texas, to make a few improvements, minor updates to the van. For a couple years now, this door handle has been broken. It really didn't bother me because I didn't have many passengers come in this door and I rarely use the door, so it wasn't a big deal and I can open it from the inside. Well, recently I went to my dad's house. I drove to Texas and visited my dad. Well, the second day there, I went to open my driver's side door and the handle broke. So I figured, well, maybe it's time to fix both these door handles. On the passenger side, the handle was fine, but there was a mechanism inside, the lock mechanism, that was broken, or it was unattached actually, and we just had to take the inside of the door apart and get in there and fix that. So it wasn't as big of a deal as I thought it was, but we got that one handled. Then on the driver's side, the actual handle broke, so we had to order a new handle and replace that. I mean, it's a pain getting in there and doing all that. It took some time, but now I'm an expert with this whole setup and inside the door. I feel pretty confident with it now if it were to ever break again. So we got that done as the first project. And another little minor project we handled was my speakers in my door, my driver's side and passenger side doors. The speakers were blown out, and I just went and bought some locally near my dad's place, and we just swapped those things out. They're just basic speakers, but I was able to get the radio working again. Okay, so I mentioned the speakers, but something else I added to the van was a new stereo. This is a Bluetooth radio. It's, got, a bunch of channels you can set. I can connect with Bluetooth, charge my phone while I'm driving, and I can play music from my phone through the Bluetooth to the new speakers. This thing has been working awesome, and it's kind of cool just driving through new towns and going and doing a quick setup of all the current radio stations and just listening, to weather and news and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. Loving this. Oh, by the way, this is just a $23 Walmart radio. It was made by Dual, D-U-A-L. It's like 20 bucks at Walmart. It's easy to install. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this guy. So I've mentioned trash in previous videos and how difficult it is to dispose of your trash when you're out camping, like in the forest or maybe up in a mountain or something. Places where you're supposed to pack it in and pack it out. So it makes it difficult to manage your trash. So I just have one of these little 1.5 gallon trash containers in here, and I just use little store bags, like just bags I get from the store, to fill it up. And when I run out of those, I have like small trash bags that I put in there. But the thing is, like when you're out camping, let's say you stay at some place for a week or even 2 weeks, and you start getting a lot of trash accumulated. Where do you put that? That's always been an issue, and I think I may have found a solution. I'm testing it out now. Let me show you. So here we are with a Home Depot 5 gallon bucket. Now, I know some people use these as their little porta potties, and when I first started out, I did the same. But what I'm doing with this is using it as my trash container. So as I fill up a trash bag inside, I bring my trash outside and I put it in this little container. I can fit maybe 5 to 6 trash bags in there. So, maybe a week or so, a little bit over a week, and the lid, it kind of seals, not great, but it kind of seals on there. So I could actually keep this inside my van if I was in a more secluded area, or not secluded, but populated area. I can keep it inside my van with me. But since I'm out in this kind of area, just kind of open camping, I can just leave my bucket outside. Now it's not going to keep a bear out or like some sort of a rodent that can figure the lid out, but at least it'll keep ants and things out of my trash, and I don't have to worry about, like, if I were to make a meal and say cut some onions up or something, and then my trash is sitting inside my van with me for a couple of days. That doesn't work out so well. So that right there is my current solution. And what's neat about these is they stack. So I could actually have a second bucket sitting here that is stacked up onto and have a second lid, and I could probably go 2 weeks with this setup. So that's my thought process on that. What do you think? So this past winter I had a privacy tent and I had a screened in kind of little office outside, and I was staying in Arizona for a number of months during the winter months this past year, 2020 into 2021, and the wind was really bad out there, and it kind of wrecked both of those, my tent and my screen tent. So both those are no longer with me. They actually took up a lot of room. Instead, I do not have a screen tent anymore, but I do now have a new privacy tent, and it's a pop-up privacy tent that's easy to put up and easy to take down. It's a Wolfwise, currently in its little packing case. I'm not going to pull it out now because I'll be showing more of this here in the future, but I just want to show you that's another thing that I added to the whole setup. And while we're on this subject, things I've added. These levels, I bought a set of levels. There's only 10 of them in a container. There's 5 used right there. I could kind of change it to where there's like, it's a, maybe one step higher, but that's really all I needed for this particular campsite. So I use my phone, the level app on my phone, to kind of figure out what degree I'm at, basically north to south, east to west, and that helps me figure out where I need to put the levels. I built 3 forts when I was a kid, well, 2 forts and a 3-story tree house, but that over there is my most impressive fort. Okay, so there's 2 more things that I added to make van life better for me. I grabbed a new pair of all-terrain hiking shoes. Here's my old ones. I'll show you real quick. There's my old ones. They're pretty worn out. Not a lot of tread on the bottom. I'm still wearing them because it's been raining over here. But those are my new hiking shoes. And I added a new chair. My last chair was just a little Walmart, $10, $15 chair. This one was Magellan Outdoors from Academy. I bought it while I was in Houston. My dad taught me this. Hang your bag on the back, that way you don't lose it. It's got a pretty good frame. I think it's pretty strong. It's got 2 drink holders, and it's got a little pouch in the front where you can put some things. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with the new chair. It's very comfortable. I've got it perfectly set here in the shade. This little bitty tree right here is providing a good amount of shade for me. Well, if you're following me on Instagram, you may have already seen this. This is a little magnetic mount. I call it a GoPro mount, but you can really mount anything to this. And it is very strong. Okay. I still have a little plastic on there just to keep from scratching the van up, but I may take that off. Looks like it peels right off, but yeah, I can mount this anywhere, and get different angles, different driving angles. I think that's going to become a neat addition to the upcoming videos. Yeah, I think that's going to be pretty slick. I've got 2 GoPros. The one I'm using now, which is a GoPro 6, I just have it rigged up better for sound and things. And then I have a GoPro 7, which will be mounted on this. So looking forward to putting that to use in new videos. Alrighty, so another item I'm looking to try out here soon as the weather warms up here in the Colorado area is my new Intex kayak. This is just a one-person kayak. It was one of the least expensive ones I could find. I bought it on Amazon and I had it shipped to my dad's place. And I hadn't even pulled it out of the bag yet, but I'm looking forward to getting that thing blown up. I've got a 12-volt pump to go with it, so I'm hoping to get some nice kayaking adventures coming soon. Okay, so another little improvement I made to the van was I replaced my headliner. It was kind of sagging and it looked pretty bad, so I found a fabric. This is basically a fabric with a little cushion behind it, and I found that and I pulled the whole thing out. Maybe I'll show some clips of how I did it as I talk about it here, but yeah, I pulled that out and replaced it. I think it all looks pretty good, except for there's one little crease like right here when it was folded when I bought the material, but that doesn't bother me. So that is a little improvement just to make me feel good on a daily basis. So if you've seen my cooking under pressure video, I made a beef stew, a beef and potato stew with a pressure cooker. I didn't have a lot of experience with using that, but I've used it a whole lot since then. And now I've been kind of thinking up some new ideas, not really thinking up, actually using a book, some recipes that I'm going to try out here in the future. Look forward to some new recipes. Here's the book. Okay, so here's my pressure cooking book that I've been reading up on. I got it from Amazon. America's Test Kitchen. I am really looking forward to getting in here and making some new meals with the pressure cooker. They look awesome. They look delicious. Okay, well, thanks for checking out the video. I just want to kind of give an update of what I've done to the van. My next video is going to kind of tell you what I've been up to over the last couple months, where I've been, just kind of a recap. And then, well, if you haven't already seen my cooking video, you can check that out over here. And then I'll list some of the video over here. Well, thanks for watching. I appreciate it.